Yes, folks, welcome back. And we still have my panel here. We're having a good crack here. And, of course, don't forget, like, the Mystic Meg Trophy was up this year for grabs. And, of course, it's been won by Roy because Roy had 3 right verdicts. And, of course, Nicholas had 2. Gussie, you didn't do too well at all. Like, you know. But I'm going to take you.
Somebody has to be last, John.
Yeah, so Jerry Doyle said.
That's right.
That's why he lost his job. Predictions for the season, of course. Who will win the league? Gussie says Cork. Well, he's not right yet.
No, still on a
And Roy and Nicky said Dundalk.
Yeah.
They're not right either yet.
Who'll be relegated? Roy and Nicky. Well, I think dead on there. Draw there. And Gussie, Finn Harps. They're not relegated yet, Gussie.
It's only a matter of time, John.
Who will win the cup?
Oh, Jesus.
Roy and Gussie, Dundalk. Nicholas, you traitor, you Shamrock Rovers.
Yeah. Well,
where did you come up with that one?
Well, the one I went for that, John, that was to put the commander on them.
I think you were seedy that Saturday, had you in here.
I put the commander on them. I put the commander on them.
And the surprise team of the year, well, Roy, the Pats, yeah, it is a surprise. They're fighting relegation.
Yeah.
And Nicky, you're as bad, Sligo. And, of
yeah.
course, Gussie, like, 6th last year, he took a mad guess.
Yeah.
Bray,
you
know, the politician.
5th or 6th, don't they?
The player of the year, Roy went for Michael Duffy, and you went for Patrick McElhaney, and Gussie went for Conor Clifford on my advice.
And your advice, John.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know he was gambling, Gussie.
You never put me right in your life.
No. Well, so that's the way those things are at the moment. I just want to talk about, going back to Shamrock Rovers fans, because it's the week we beat them, and why not talk about them? The behaviour of them in Oriel Park wasn't atrocious, like that. We can't stem this stuff in Oriel Park. They come here and they just take over.
Yeah, and
you know.
Again,
could you imagine going to Dublin or Cala and trying to take over? Roy, you just couldn't get in for a pint last Tuesday night unless you took your Dundalk coat off. Isn't that right?
You weren't in the Dundalk colours, you weren't
in
the Modern Hotel. And like we said to your man at the door, you have a short memory. We were up there for 5 or 6 games in the Europa League, and we kept that place going.
That's right.
And they would even give us cocktail sauce or something then, and it was packed then. And it was a disgrace last Tuesday night. I mean, it was unbelievable. And as Nicky says about the Rovers supporters, when we got to Dublin, you park there and you walk over, and then these guys were let walk down and wreck the town. We were told where to go, no running around the place. Park your bus there, get off, and go straight into the game.
No.
It was scandalous the way we were treated, John. And you were talking even about the toilets being closed at half time, and the abuse. Well, our crowd was okay, but I mean, were you wearing that, John? It was terrible.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they can get away with it. To come off the train, and I was actually walking up. Instead of being let down the town, they just go up to where you're parking in the ground. They went down and
but according to the post, Dundalk wanted it played earlier when there'd be no drink on the scene. Like
Dundalk and the guards, John.
You know, and the guards, yeah.
Yeah, and it was RTE apparently that said it had to fit in with their television schedule. Now, once does a television schedule, John, take precedence over public safety? That game should have been played, in my opinion, at 2:30.
Yeah.
And I agree with the way these guys come in, and even when Dundalk scored, one guy jumped into among the supporters in the stand. He should have been ejected immediately. Then don't forget the flare that was thrown onto the pitch before the players had even introduced themselves to each other, like, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, and then they were looking for Dundalk to build a temporary stand behind the goals to accommodate more of these supporters. No way. And then give Dundalk a miserable couple of 100 tickets, like, you know. No, I don't know how they're getting away with it, like it, John. I agree with you. There's a bad. I know we all aren't all angels, but these guys have raised the bar, in my opinion, as regards hooligans. You know, and they're not, as you said earlier, they're not teenagers either. I saw that when I went to Tala before. No, John.
No. It's something like that stops you from going to Tala now at the present day, doesn't it?
I'm not the only one.
I agree with you. I asked plenty of people, and they said they'd never go back to it.
Never. That's what's going to happen now, John. The way people are treated tonight over the toilet.
Yeah.
They're not going to go back to it. They're not going to have that.
And who's losing out then? It's them on the gate money, isn't it? You know. Well, have you anything to say on that, Gussie?
No, look, I agree with what Roy and Nicky said. But it's not. This is not the first year that incidents have happened with Shamrock Rovers and Oriel Park. down through the years it's happened, and nothing seems to be done about it. And
when will we hear about it? Who can get that and go with that complaint and make sure that it doesn't happen again?
It's probably
if possible.
It's up to Dundalk to probably secure the place and have enough security up there that these things don't happen. But the incident down the town, I know for a fact that most of the pubs would have been told not to open their doors when Shamrock Rovers are playing, and obviously this certain pub probably didn't know that, or just were caught unawares, and these things happen. But when the likes of this club comes around, you just have to be on your guard, because Etton's liable.
But when you take it into context, could you imagine the four of us going up to Dublin and try and wreck a pub?
Well, there's more than four, I think.
No, I'm only saying the four of us having that in our heads.
No,
You wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
You go into a pub for a pint and you go up to your game and that's it.
And look, there is genuine, and I'm sure there was plenty of genuine Shamrock Rovers fans.
Yeah, we were sitting among them last Tuesday night.
Last week they did get in for a drink somewhere in the pubs around the area. They were known and they were let in.
Yeah.
You'd always have this element that's going to cause trouble.
Well, I thought that, Gussie, until last Tuesday night. Right, we were sitting among hardened Rover supporters, 60, 70, 80 of age. And I'm sure if you were listening, you could hear it coming across the radio. It wasn't very nice. It's coming up to us with the clenched fists and your scumbags and this, that and the other about your wives and everything. You know?
Yeah. Well, I know, John, he's dead now, a late cousin of mine who was a Shamrock Rovers supporter all his life and went to Milltown, and he told me, I'm never going to Tala.
No,
he would not go into Tala. He says no.
But is it ever going to be changed?
That's what I'd like to know. Is it ever going to be changed?
And what other thing comes down and causes that problem?
No. It's the same. Every other club. I was talking to two Pat supporters, and they were saying the same thing. One club that don't like him coming to Richmond Park is Shamrock Rovers. There's bound to be trouble. Talking to Sligo Rovers supporters in Sligo, they said the same thing too. When Sligo won the league, there was playing a dead rubber against Rovers. The Rovers supporters came down and they said, before you knew where you were, there was being smashed. And the other thing, do you remember the last time they were here and they came to Pierce Park and they upset?
That's right.
There was a house there where a woman died. And it caused havoc outside the place. Yeah. And who's going to pay for the damage to the Louth pitch?
That's the point why I'm taking it up. It was swept under the carpet once more. And here we have it again this year.
Yeah, and nothing,
when is it going to be stopped?
Yeah, and I think it.
Can it be stopped?
Can it be stopped?
That's the thing.
Even the burn of the pitch, it wasn't even mentioned in Soccer Republic.
No.
It's just any other team, this would be wrong and that'll be wrong.
That was Dundalk. If that was Dundalk fans did that and Tally, you'd hear all about it.
You'd be in jail.
Gussie, I'm going to ask you this one. Has the format of three teams been relegated this year proven right with excitement at the bottom of the league now?
Well, actually, you look at it, John, it probably has. Because from early start in the league, it was a two-horse race in Dundalk and Co. And that's the way it turned out. And all the interest was down the bottom, because there's still I'd imagine Pat, Sligo, Galway and Finn Harps. Those was a
Well, I'll tell you what, Finn Harps have 30 points, Galway have 34, Sligo 35, Pat's 35, and Limerick have 36.
Limerick are playing
tonight, so they could get out of that maybe tonight.
So it's Pat, Sligo, Galway and Finn Harps.
Yeah.
Harps, Harps 2 games is they're home to draw the next week.
They're home to draw them away to Bows then,
so you'd fancy to beat draw the next week. So it's what Sligo, Galway.
Sligo, they have Derry City at home and draw the way. And they've 33 points.
Limerick, the Galway play Limerick next week, don't they?
Yeah.
And then their last game is us.
Home to Dundalk, yeah. They have 34 points, Galway. Then we go to 35 points to Pats. They're at home to Cork City. And if Derry done a job on them the next Monday night, certainly it'd be very interesting. And Derry City away.
You're in dreamland, John. Are you dreaming?
No, I'm not dreaming that. No. Come here.
Oh.
If football always worked the way you think it works, Gussie, we get the football curtains up every week.
Don't worry about it, John.
Limerick 36.
18 points ahead at one stage.
Limerick will get out of it. Well, the Galway at home and Shamrock Rovers away.
We put out your misery
if
Monday night.
Limerick win the night, John, it'll be as good as
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we'll say, looking at that it's Drogheda and Finn Harps gone.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
I'd imagine. Well,
Gussie mightn't agree with it because he doesn't agree with anything.
you'd fancy Finn Harps to be Drogheda next week.
Right.
So that'll put them on 33 points.
Yeah. So,
It'll go down to the last game of the year.
Would you have a wee bit of a guess who'd go down?
I'd take Finn Harps and Galway.
Yeah. I only wanted one because I think Finn Harps will go down.
I think Galway will be the other team that'll go
Galway, right?
I would think Galway too, John, yeah.
Right.
I'd go for Galway, John.
That's three Galways.
Yeah. The only thing is,
you
John,
must have a cabin or something in Galway for the races.
It may be exciting at the moment, but the wider picture is this: 3 teams go down into that hell of a first division.
Yeah.
And guys have the budgets and all that. It's very difficult to come out of it, John.
Yeah.
Very difficult to come out of it. And is that good for the game overall? I keep saying this. Well,
Gussie has a great suggestion that we put reserve teams in and make it a B division.
Maybe that's a better way to go, yeah.
But Shamrock Rovers spent 66,000 on one and dropped out the following year.
That's because Mr. Fendon wanted the money to straighten the Shamrock Rovers. But look, you see on this...
We'd be playing 36 games next year.
Yeah.
Instead of 33. And I thought we're training... I think it's wrong. I don't agree with it anyway.
Here's a message for you, Roy. Afternoon, gentlemen. Enjoying the show as usual. Really looking forward to the Aviva from Olivia and Rosie.
Oh.
And hold on, Roy. The kettle will be on for you on Monday. See you then.
Very good. I'll be down.
I'll be down with them, Olivia and Rosie. And I don't take sugar in me tea.
Are you sweet enough?
I'm too sweet at the moment. We'll go to the good, the bad and the ugly now. Roy, you started that a bit.
I'd wrap the bad and the ugly all in one. The two referees for the games with Shamrock Rovers were terrible, I think. Some of the decisions, the behaviour of the Shamrock Rovers supporters, the behaviour of Shamrock Rovers, the way that we were treated in Tala and the Modern Hotel. I think the good, the bad and the ugly's in there. The good is just the way the dogs playing and getting to the Aviva again.
No.
I think it's fantastic. But the bad and the ugly goes together. That's mine all wrapped up in one. I think it was disgraceful the way they behaved. And I think the referees were very, very poor.
Yeah. Gussie, can you follow that?
I just think the good part would be getting to the Aviva, and our end of season form has been very, very good. Bad probably, and it was probably the bad start we got to the season. We lost 12 points in the first round of fixtures. In the first 12 fixtures, we lost 12 points. That probably cost us because we were after finishing in December. We were coming back to play in February, and we lost probably quite a number of players.
And what would you put that down to, Gussie? We had players trying to gel, or was it still players their bodies were tired after such a season before?
I thought maybe the first round of fixtures were slightly harder than what Cork's fixtures were, considering that we were after playing till December and we lost a lot of players, and we were going in to play top teams.
Do you think the FAI you take that into consideration?
No, and then unfortunately too, when we played Rosenborg, when we played them here, our next 2 games we lost 5 out of 6 points. Rovers beat us, and we drew with Sligo. Yeah. So that was a wee bit unfortunate at the start of the league that we lost so many points, and that's what caused it. That was a wee bit of disappointment.
Right.
At the start of the season.
Have you an ugly?
Well, probably what we see with Shamrock Rovers on a regular basis every time they come to play with us.
Just when it comes into my head, has Dundalk a liaison officer these days?
They have.
That these things can be told.
Yeah, they have.
Well, shouldn't people be telling them about the carry on, or is there any way that we can do something to stop it in any way? It's happening every year. Still now we talk about it, but nothing happens to Rovers, nothing happens to their fans, and we're still in the same boat.
Maybe we'll end up banning
them. The good job
good man, Nicky.
Well, the good for me is Dundalk finishing their season last year in December the 8th, losing a couple of players, taking down the jail, and yet the position we are in at the moment, the worst we can finish up is runners-up in the league. Third year in a row in going to the Aviva. I think that's absolutely marvellous. The bad for me, I would separate the bad from the ugly, right? The bad for me were the two horrendous tackles. Not two of many. One on the Chris Shields and one on Dylan Conley. And a yellow card. It should have been a straight red for McAllister of Rovers instead of a second yellow and a red, and it should have been a straight red for Timlin. And yet the referees, particularly when they become the fourth official, if you put your foot outside the technical area, they're over like a shot. The ugly, again, the Rovers supporters, the behaviour, they've thrown the flare onto the pitch. What I would do if I was in Dundalk's position, I would send an invoice to Rovers and let that be highlighted for the damage to the pitch. Because the only way that's going to stop if Rovers themselves are hitting the pocket, John.
Yeah. So, who do we do that through? A liaison officer or something like that, is it?
And straight into the FAI as well. That game was under the auspices of the FAI.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, John, and the last thing I'll say there is that to say to television in future, lads, the Gardaí will make the decision on when the game is going to be televised or been played. That's number one. And secondly, as you're talking about the liaison officer, the FAI liaison officer should tell the television, the next time you televise a game, there has to be a fee paid to the participating teams. It's ridiculous that you can lose 1,000 people off your gate and you get no compensation.
Not only in a game like that, but an ordinary league game after maybe 10 or 11 games just played, which means you're definitely going to lose a crowd.
Absolutely.
I think that's up for negotiating now in February, Nicky. They just deal with the television and that.
Has to be.
And I mean, they'll want to get their things right. And
I'll go to another station like Air.
Well, that's it. I'm sure they would have showed up the semi-final of the Cup, but RTÉ have the rights of the two semi-finals, you know.
It seems very strange that all the teams in England are dependent on the television money, and here we are in Ireland, we don't need it. Isn't it? It's strange.
And,
you know.
Now in England they want to give it to the top 6 teams and forget about the rest, you know, give them all the big money.
And many of them will survive after that, and you know, that's what's keeping them alive. The teams, you can tell the middle of the table every year, but they're still there because of the television money. And when we have an attractive match on, we're just leaving ourselves open to lose money, aren't we?
Exactly, losing money. Yeah.
We know we're in the final of the Cup now. The two best teams in the country, you must say. The Aviva Stadium, to showcase the game. Stephen Cheney's tactics or John Caulfield's tactics, Gussie?
Well,
I know you're not a lover of John Caulfield, and
I'd imagine if Dundalk get all their players that's injured at the moment fit for the 5th of November, I would definitely think Dundalk would be quite capable of beating Cork, especially the big pitch. I'd have no fears of playing Cork in the Viva. Definitely not. You know, we've seen the way they play Cork. They're not really a fuckling team. They get into your faces. Like they played us last year in the Cup final. They beat us in extra time, wasn't it? And we were after coming back from Russia on a Thursday, and we were out on our feet. And I'd be fancying Dundalk fully fit, playing in the Viva in the 5th of November. We'll have a wee bit of a break now in a fortnight's time, so where would he be up and running? I'd have no fears beating Cork, definitely not.
Right. What's your opinions there on that?
I would think
final. I know we're all going to go for Dundalk, like naturally enough.
I think,
but
John,
you know, it's a wonderful day to look forward to, isn't it?
If he is a heavy player, Fred, he's going to have some headache. You know, I mean, if you get John Melly and Conley and
talking to him last night, he wasn't too sure he'd have all his players fit.
Oh,
no, I'll tell you that.
I seen Conley in the stand, John, and he was kind of limping. And I think if you got Dylan Conley and Michael Duffy. And form as two wingers in the Aviva, they could take any defence apart with their speed and get good crosses in there to make winning that. No, I wouldn't have either, John. I think if Dundalk is fully fit, they would beat Cork. I wouldn't have any hesitation.
Well, I interviewed Dylan Conley last night, and of course I didn't play them because I have my esteemed friends, and he said he should be all right nearly for next week. But you were talking about two bad tackles, Nicky.
Yeah.
If you had to see the one Tuesday night that Clark put on Conley, and not even a free kick for, he just cleaned them out of it. and it was a leg breaker, like from the back.
He's been targeted, like, and it's
well, like I don't mind the fella being targeted, because anyone with pace is always going to be targeted. Do you know what I mean? The name of the game is slow them down, isn't it? That's it's still like just like Anyway, going back to the cup final, Nicholas. You're like a pig in shite. What are you going to do now? What a thrill for you.
It's great again, John. Three in a row, like, the whole atmosphere. And last year, Dundalk had every chance to win that, but they were handicapped by the FAI to play that game on a Sunday after coming back from Russia. That's in the past now. Dundalk can go out now on the 5th of November. Funny, Guy Fawkes night. I can just see the headlines, fireworks in the Aviva, because I definitely think Dundalk will beat Cork. Like Scotty says, I have no fear of them. Like, it's going back to what I said. Keep saying to people,
even though you picked Shamrock Rovers, now, Nicholas, that was a blip. Don't forget that.
I put a commander on them. The one thing I would say about what Matt Busby used to say all the time, the great Matt Busby, football will always win in the end. And Dundalk are the best footballing team in the league, the best football team. Right. And interesting enough, I was talking to somebody last night in the bar as usual, and he tells me he looked up, there was on his Facebook a Drogheda United supporter who said he'll want to cheer on a team that represents the League of Ireland the best way in Europe, and that team is Dundalk. God help us if it's Cork City.
Yeah.
The best team always wins the league, Nicky.
Well, the best football team...
The best team wins the league.
Yeah. Football, you must win it in style. I mean, if you're content...
You can be the best football team and you mightn't win the league.
Yeah, well...
But the best team always wins the league.
Well, you always say that, John.
Come over here and I'll have a chat with you.
Yeah, you might think that, because you might say that the table never lies. But what do you want to remember? Do you remember a team that hacked their way? I'm not saying Cork hacked their way to a cup to win the league, or a football team that goes out to play the game the way it should be played?
You'll always remember the winners. You never remember the runners-up.
No, well, I always remember Dundalk, no matter what position they're in.
Good man, Nicholas. Good man. And I always remember that I have a teaser at the end of the programme, and it's a very easy one today.
It's always easy.
And I find it here. I had it turned the page because Gussie would be looking over my shoulder. What player has made the most appearances for Dundalk this season? Gussie?
Michael Duffy.
The most appearances? Gary Rogers.
McMillan.
Gussie's right. Michael Duffy, 27 times.
Duffy,
just picked that up last night when I was half asleep, Gussie. That was an easy one.
Rogers was second.
Rogers at 26.
Yeah.
26, all right.
You were looking up all those files. You knew I was going to ask something like that, did you?
Yeah. I was telling him he 20 clean sheets this year.
Yeah.
He was saying to me last night, right? I was talking to Rogers last night up the board.
Yeah. Will McMillan beat Maguire, do you think? The goal tally?
No, I don't think so, John.
No?
Yeah, I can't even get
2 more league games, no? You wouldn't want him to beat them anyway, because you get no fan mail from Sean Maguire.
He probably would get Player of the Year then if he didn't win it, Maguire,
Do you think Maguire will get Player of the Year?
No doubt.
I wouldn't.
Overall Player of the Year in the League of Ireland?
Yeah.
What about you, Nicholas?
Maguire.
Who'd be challenging him even?
Well, I'd say that Cork player, John. Stewie Borden picked his team of the year in the Mirror on Friday.
Right.
You treat Dundalk player. Do you think he had 5 from Cork?
I'd take McMillan would certainly run him close. The fact that Shawnee Maguire is missing now anyway. But going back to player of the year, you saw who player of the month was. Brendan Melia of Rovers.
Yeah.
And because of his fantastic goal against Cork City, it said, fantastic goal against Finn Harps, and a hat-trick against Bluebell United.
Nicky, if you can remember at the start of the season, he was playing very, very, very well with Shamrock Rovers.
Yes.
And there was this talk of him going across water.
Yes.
He is one of the chaps in Rovers that has a bit of a football ability in him.
I agree
and
with
maybe he's not been let play because of the different tactics, of the Rovers setup.
You might have a good point there. Do you think the fact that Ronan Finn came in could have upset the whole system that he was used to?
I don't know. I think there
I
are
agree with
certain
you, he's a
players
good
in
player.
Shamrock Rovers that are good technically football players, and they're not allowed. Like if the manager was to say, lads, go out there and play football, and give them a free rein of saying, go on out and play and enjoy yourselves. I think Shamrock Rovers, a lot of the players like Amelia could be.
Do you think a manager says that to a team these days? Go out there and enjoy yourself, Gussie.
Go out there and win. And do your tools, huh?
I'm sure Stephen Kenny would let people go out and enjoy themselves.
John, tell Gussie the saying is the team with the most points wins the league. Not the best team or the best footballing side. That honour, John, will go to Dundalk.
Oh.
And that comes from Andrew again. So thanks very much for not agreeing with Gussie, Andrew. It's not like you. So the next time he sees you in Oriel Park, it's a pint of water you'll get, not a pint of beer. You know. Well, folks, the time has caught up with us. The hour is gone, and I'm sure we've maybe get us in before the cup final and have a wee chat and think what's happening. But a big thank you to Roy, Gussie, and Nicky for expressing your opinions. And as I said, we may get you in again before the season's over, and hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I do.
Of course we are.
And the cheque is in the post.
Oh, great.
I don't know whether you've been retained or not, Gussie, because you're bottom of the Mystic Meg trophy.
And you forgot to mention, I also tipped Waterford to win the first division, John.
Oh yeah, I owe
that,
you 20 pence, don't I?
You give me 20 to 1. Yeah,
I'll give you a tea bag tomorrow morning. Will that be all right?
You're some judge, weren't you?
Yeah, I was some job, yeah. And I don't know how you thought of that, Gussie, being sponsored by a millionaire. That was a hard one.
Yes,
We'll have a break now, Jason.